We'll find out how long it is until the 8:30 high beam, which is now, as we head into that this morning. And we're talking this morning with the director of the Tuscarawas County Job and Family Services, David Haverfield. Mr. Haverfield, thank you for joining us this morning. We appreciate it very much. How are you?
Oh, I'm great. Thank you for the opportunity to speak with you today. I appreciate that.
It's our pleasure, for sure. So as we kind of take a look at the way things are unfolding post-pandemic here, I guess that's the reason for the additional benefits that were given to SNAP recipients. Those are now going to disappear. Not the entirety of it, but the additional benefits. So how do you see that affecting the people that you deal with who are receiving these benefits?
Well, I think it's going to have a pretty tremendous impact on some of our folks, largely because they've gone on for a very long time now. We're approaching 3 years, and they've had this additional allotment. They get their normal SNAP benefit, their normal, and SNAP is a, supplemental nutrition assistance program. It's essentially what a lot of folks would think about as food stamps.
Yeah.
They get their normal allocation earlier in the month, but for the last almost 3 years, they've gotten the second allocation later in the month, which brings them up to the maximum amount for their assistance group size. So if you're a single person, you may get a normal allotment as low as $24 a month. You would go up, to over $200 a month with that additional benefit. Wow. And that's going to stop. So I think, unfortunately, people have kind of gotten used to it and become reliant on it. And, that could create some hardship for folks.
Yeah, it certainly will. Now, that's at the end of February. Is that where we're at, which would be next week?
Yeah, they'll get their final additional allotment the end of this month. It'll load on March 1st, actually, because February is a shorter month. Mm-hmm. But then starting in March, they'll just get their normal allotment when they usually get it earlier in the month, and that will be it. So we've tried really hard to get the word out as much as we can in every way possible, including the state has, called or texted every person to make sure that they got the message. But we know that for some of our folks, it's going to be a hardship, or they might just be confused about what's going on.
Any suggestions on what they could do to try to recoup that or feed themselves?
Yeah, well, I think the program is set up is it's not really intended to be all the food you get in a month. It's supposed to be a supplement. I mean, hence the name supplemental. So, we tried to get the word out enough ahead of time so that folks could make some plans. I know our local food pantry is an amazing resource located in Dover over in the old Bueller's building, which is near the flea market, and they're always very busy. And I anticipate this may cause them to become more busy, but certainly there are a number of resources in the community. There are some other food pantries that will be willing to help folks out, and hopefully we can get people the things that they need.
Right, the one here in the Twin Cities as well, yes.
Absolutely. Twin Cities, there's one in New Comerstown as well. Jordan is down there. There are a number of food pantries that do tremendous work, and I don't know this for sure, but I'm going to anticipate they're probably going to see an uptick in their business here in the next month or so.
Certainly think that would be right. As we talk about that, Job and Family Services, what kind of assistance are you seeing being requested most for people who want to re-enter or reposition themselves in the workforce?
Yeah, we do have some programs available here locally. Now, our county Job and Family Services is set up a little different than others might be. It kind of varies. So Ohio Means Job is a separate entity from us. They have an office over at Monroe Mall, and they provide a lot of services like, job search assistance, helping you write a resume, helping you work on how to interview for jobs. So those kind of programs are at that agency, and they do a tremendous job with that. But here locally, we do have some services available in something we call a prevention retention contingency plan. So for people that are income eligible, and we're happy to help you talk about that, and typically have a minor child in the home or someone who is pregnant, we have a lot of services we can provide. Money for training, incentives for completing a GED and getting a high school diploma, money for uniforms or specialized supplies you might need, money for gas to get you to your job for the first couple of weeks till you get a paycheck, because that can be a challenge for folks. And we can also help with some transportation. So we do have those services to help eliminate barriers so people can become employed.
I think that's so important. And then let's focus a little bit on the family side of Job and Family. You are kind of the overseer of foster parenting in the area, and there's a definite need, right?
We always have a need. Our foster parents are some of the most amazing people you'd ever meet. That is an entirely selfless job, giving of yourself to help care for kids. And it might be for a couple of days, or in some cases, it might be forever, because sometimes our kids can't go home, and a decision has to be made that, they're going to go into our permanent custody and become adopted. But we always need more foster parents. I hate that sometimes we have to send our kids an hour or 2 hours away for foster care placement because we don't have enough homes. So we can always use that. So if someone is interested, please call our agency and inquire. There's a background check. Obviously, there's some classes that have to be taken, a pretty extensive home study. It's the hardest job anyone could ever love. It's very rewarding, but very challenging. And, those are some of the most amazing people in our community, and we always need more people that are willing to consider that. So we'd encourage them to reach out to us.
Reading a book by the Dungies, Tony and his wife, with, dozens of foster children, and they're certainly advocates for that as well. So we've put out a lot of information there, but we need to be able to contact you. First of all, do you have a social media or a web presence?
We do. We have a Facebook account. Our website is www.tcjfs.org. We're on Twitter. We're on all the social media places you can find us. We have a very vibrant Facebook presence. So reach out. If you go to our website, there's a lot of good information there. There's information about foster parenting, information about benefits, information about who to contact if you have a question. So I would encourage everybody to go there. So, and if you're unsure, give us a call here, 330-339-7791. You get a hold of our operator, and they'll get you to the right place.
Well, that sounds amazing. So just ask what you're interested in, and you can get the right person, right?
Absolutely. We'll do everything we can do to help you. So we appreciate anybody calling with questions, and we would rather you call us than wonder what the answer is.
Well, that's for sure. Well, Mr. Haverfield, thank you for the information. It's always good to get an update.
Always, yep.
I know.
Appreciate the opportunity to talk to you.
Things are always fluid, right?
Yeah, it's always moving. It's always something new every day, and that's what makes this a great place to be. So we're trying to just keep up with everything and keep the community, make sure they have the things that they need. So that's very important to us.
Okay. Well, we won't let too much time pass before we talk to you again, if that's all right with you.
Absolutely. Looking forward to it.
Okay.
Thanks again. I appreciate it.
Again, thank you for being on this morning. That is David Haverfield. He is the director of the Tuscarawas County Job and Family Services locally here. Our guest on the 8:30 High Beam on the BT Morning Show.